You haven't seen me live for a long time, darling dears. What's going on here? Who's been searching my boxes? The progeny, they get in here when I'm sleeping, darling dears. When I'm sleeping. Welcome or welcome back to Frequency Phoenix 555 for your message or your massages. Let's give it a hot minute for the big cats to assemble. Slim Jim! Donnie Renee! I missed you guys live! YouTube had me in Big Cat Prison! They did! I didn't know why. It's because I'm fabulous! Yes! Come in! Come on! I've got intel! Recon is afoot! Yes, Big Cat, your intuitive blueprint unmasked many agenda. Yes, it did. Father God told you, Big Cat, to be silent so you could see, so you could read. And I don't mean read a book, darling dears. I mean read their true intentions. In this season, your enemies are watching closely. Sputnik is their name. Mouth breathing is their game. They have launched many an investigation into you, and it's a university that they will never, as I get matrix, graduate from. Remember I told you that, Big Cat. In this season, Father God separated you from your enemies and freed you from any obligation of taking they, them, and back into your hemisphere. You had faith the size of a mustard seed. You was a Lamborghini, running around like you was a Ford Fiesta from 1970, blood, bruh, or sistrine. That time is over. Finito, finished, dos fadanya. They will come out of the mud huts, darling dears, bleeding like an abscess, trying to get into your life to corrupt your cranium. They're looking for sympathy. They're looking for pity. Do you have pity, darling dears? Was they sorry for you when they socked it to you? Was they sorry? Was they sorry when they cut you to the white meat, Big Cat? These questions you must ask yourself. Why am I speaking about this? I'm speaking about this because the moon is currently in Libra, darling dears, where peace and harmony should reign in partnerships. Any kind of contractual relationship is an exchange of energies. But you came pure, darling dears, as a Ford Fiesta from the 70s with Lamborghini potential, darling dears. Lamborghini potential. Let's dive in, darling dears, and see what's going on for you on these what? Tarot screeds. Let's bring up the chat so I can see who's here. Oh my gosh, I missed you guys. Did you miss me? I haven't been live for months. A month of Sundays. Maybe YouTube stopped it now. Maybe they've stopped picking on me. Because by the time I've done a live, it takes about 12 hours for it to upload. So people think that I haven't uploaded. I have uploaded. Listen, there's no harder working cat than I. I'm your best friend, darling dear. I'm the one that's there to tell you what's going on. And you can choose, because choice is free will, what you intend to do with that intel. Let's see if I can get the comments up, because I'm telling you, this machine is having a laugh. All my mechanicals are all over the place. How do you bring that up? Hold on a second, darling dears. Oh, I can see you now. London G Wagwan. Fist bump. Stay breezy. Glad you could pass through, darling dear. You was breezing through life, having a fabulous, gorgeous and lovely time. Let's carry on and get your runestone as we carry on. What do you need to know about your blueprint? Oh, you've got 2 runestones, darling dears. Good golly and gosh. You have what? The Hangman, darling dear. Lagaz. As well as what? You've got the Gebo. You have a gift, darling dear. It was a gift. Not everybody is gifted with the intel, the foresight, the intuitive blueprint as you, darling dears. But now that we're besties, you understood the assignment. You understood the formal training that I was giving you, darling dears. I wasn't picking on you. No. But I can't leave my best friend behind. Not in this world. Oh, how now, brown cow. Gebo, represented by the letter G, darling dears, represented by the Gemini energy, the lovers in tarot. You continue to make the right choices. Listen to your intuition, darling dears. Many times you get ideas that tell you to do one thing and you still override that with what? Ford Fiesta ideals from the 70s when you're a full-on Lamborghini blood, bra or sistine, and do the opposite. But now divine is telling you to pay attention to your gifts. If your mind tell you say it's so, it goes so. Or near so. If it's not so, how about that? Love it. This is a personal relationship to you, darling dears. It was is the operative word. Represented by the letter G, the numbers 24, 25, 26, and 27. As I said, the hangman. You are being what? Intuitively guided, darling dears, to what? Break the matrix, darling dears. Bend the mold to whatever you want, darling dears. You have the blueprint. If you look back at your life, at all the insurmountable things you didn't think that you could overcome, but look where you are, big cat. You live to tell the tale. You don't look like what you've been through, darling dears. You're looking fabulous, gorgeous, and lovely. You've got your core ball, right? You've got your sea moss. You've got your what? Fluoride-free toothpaste. Yeah. Right. You've got your money, which we won't discuss. Big cat, there's 3 runes, not 2. Your blueprint is a gift to you, darling dears, which gives you a higher mind, a higher perspective. Lagaz, represented by the letter L, the numbers 99 and 15. And the one I missed? Good golly and gosh. It's what? Jera, darling dears, the Wheel of Fortune. You are fated, darling dears, to what? Find peace. You are meant to be what? The hope, the beacon for what? A broken big cat. I told you many times, your life is a testimony. Not everybody was able to what? Circumvent what you overcame. Not everybody is evil. I said evil. Freudian slip meant to come out. Not everybody that overcomes it, darling dears, realize how great they are. You are great. Better than great. You are fabulous, gorgeous, and lovely. And you pee glitter, shit cupcakes, and fart rainbows. And I'll have nothing else said. Not about my best friend. Not while I've got my peepers open, mate. This is represented, did I say, by the letter J. The numbers 40, 41, 42, and 43. Your efforts, darling dears, are about to be realized. This is a message for someone who's been working hard, possibly on some kind of contract, which is going to put you in a different position, darling dear. No longer being the what? The butt of all jokes, as everybody tries to be your bestie. Big cat, I thought I was your best friend. I'm jealous. I'm jealous. I want you to be friends with no one but me, Black. Listen, you can do what you want, but didn't tell me, right? Didn't tell me. Anyhow, let's press on, darling dears. Let's get a domino to back on this up because we're talking about your blueprint. Thank you. Good golly and gosh. What did I say about your blueprint, darling dear? This is a 7. 7 is a highly spiritual number. The battery's about to run out. Hold on a sec. Don't want it to cut off this live. There, we've got power. You have a 7 highly spiritual number. You have a deeply analytical number. Many people may say that you are what? Obsessing over thoughts and ruminating. It's not, darling dears. You was built for this, Shiznai. You have an analytical nature that you was meant to use what? To discern the wickedness around you, darling dears. Who's that? Harry Ant 138, you're up a life path 7, fist bump, darling dear. You're in your element. Divine wants you to use your analytical nature. That 7 is ruled by the moon, darling dears. The moon rules Pisces as well as Cancer energy. The moon also rules the number 7 and number 2. That's very important to you. And Monday is going to be significant for you. Possibly what? A contract, darling dear. Something that's coming in that's going to change your life on this Malkuth. Something that you've been waiting for. And you didn't even know you was waiting, darling dears. But you had to what? Get your mind right. Because if you'd been gifted with these blessings that are about to be afforded to you, darling dears, it would have been wasted on the feeble-minded. The energy of the 1-7 is what? Mercury energy. So you've got the badass alchemist ways, able to bend the matrix. It also represents a short trip or journey. There's something about siblings and neighbors, darling dears, not to trust them. You have a sibling coming towards you, darling dears. Don't trust them and don't listen. Well, you can listen if you want to, darling dears. If you've got that amount of time to waste to listen to a sibling that effed you over without the Vaseline, darling dears, you can listen. But remember, while you're listening, none of us know the day, the hour, or the minute. You really got that amount of time? I haven't. If you crossed me, cross yourself off. Yeah, I daren't touch the coffee right now because I'll be awake. We've got 28 degrees in the UK at this moment in time. And I was playing... Can we have a quick chat, bestie, before we press on? Because I was mulling this over in my mind, whether to mention this to you. Last week, Tuesday morning, right, I was sleeping. That's what I do when I'm in my bed. After I've said goodnight to God, I'm sleeping. But must have been around 5:30 in the morning, because we live on top of a hill. The rain, I haven't seen rain like this before. The rain alone woke me from my slumber. So I was laying in my bed, minding my own business, and as I normally do. So I was doing my meditations. Then I got up and was doing my morning yoga. Then all of a sudden, I think it must have been about 7:30. I was just doing my downward dog, and the lightning, it was like a bomb. I thought the nuclear bomb had been dropped on the UK, darling dears. And as I went to go to open up my blinds to look out the window, my phone rang. And then it stopped, then it rang again. So when I got to my phone, I was like, I don't recognize this number. And who could be ringing me at 7:30 in the morning, right? Because God doesn't phone me. My progeny's with me. My oldest daughter's where she needs to be at this moment in time. And I looked, and I thought, okay then, I'll entertain it, because somebody wants to be told off at 7:30 in the morning while it's raining so heavy and thunder and lightning is striking. Who was it? It was the husband, darling dear. The ne'er-do-well from yesteryear. So I was like, hello, good morning, who is it? Grand Rising. He goes, it's me. I said, me who? I don't know me. He goes, oh. He said his name, and I said, what do you want? He goes, I want to come home. Come home? ¿Qué? No comprende. What are you saying to me, blood, brah? Brah, what are you saying? What do you mean you want to come home? I don't even live at the same house. I'm not at the same address spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, right? And I didn't fox with you, right? So he goes, I wanted to come home. Listen, you know what? Let me call you back in 5 minutes. Let me ask the progeny. The same progeny that he abandoned, the same progeny that he doesn't phone, the same progeny that he doesn't remember their birth dates, even though Karma Moore's birthday is on his dad's birthday, and O'Shea's birthday is what? New Year's Day, right? I said, I'll go and ask the progeny, blood. So I said, okay, let me go further, because I've done my downward dog. I've done my morning salutations and all of that. I said good morning to God. I've made up my bed of righteousness. So I called the progeny. I said, progeny, guess who just called me? They was mystified, because it was 7:30 in the motherfucking morning, blood. Nobody called me at that time, right? So, yeah, that's right, stay breezy. The man bright, him brave, and him full of what? Wickedness. Where I call me for? We're divorced, blood. I've paid my knees. Listen. This man, right, because of his behaviors, I chose celibacy. And it's almost pushing 5 years, darling dear. Are you mad? I wanted to be on my own. I didn't want to be with nobody else.
Low
right?
battery charge.
Listen, everything's running out on me, right? Because the wicked don't want me to tell you this story. So I called the progeny and they couldn't guess. And I got tired of waiting because I'm busy,
Audio
mate.
mode is
Listen, I've got to go back on my vape. I couldn't believe it. I said, guess who phoned me? They couldn't work it out, so I stopped waiting for them to guess because it was bare silence, crickets in my boudoir. I said, your dad just called me and he said he wants to come home. My son was like, after what he said about you to me, Mum. My daughter was like, I wish him dead. I said, Karma, shut up and never you ever wish anybody dead. You wish him life so you can sock it to them while they're in the nosebleed section. I didn't return that call. I blocked it. What do you mean? Calling me on different numbers at those unfortunate times. Just when the lightning, the thunder, it was like a bomb going off on top of this hill that we live on. I told you, your blueprint has unmarked many agenda, darling dears. And many of the feeble-minded thought you'd come back for more of the same. They think that you will settle on them when you are fabulous, gorgeous, and lovely. You, big cat, you are big cat. And we are best friends. And we are both, right? Because there's only two of us here, right? We are both, right, prototypes of our lineage. You don't take nobody back. Nobody spins the block on the person who has the blueprint. You have, big cat, have been able to bend the matrix once you left all of those abusive situations. Your bills are paid. You've got your chariot of righteousness, if that's what you need, darling dears. You've got a job. You've got multiple streams of income. You've got that big P. No, it didn't freeze. I was waiting for you to get the smut out of your mind. I'm talking about peace, darling dears. You've got peace. Why would you ask the devil's what strongest and most diligent worker to come back? And they had the effrontery to call me and say, I want to come home. Listen, if he ever knew how trained I am, darling dear, to kick ass, mate, I would have been in what mortal combat? It would have been a fight to the death. I would have had to leave my house, right, without all of my electronics, and go to the forest. Why would I go there? I'm not telling you. Nobody tells on himself. Just that guy on, what's his name? On Instagram. What's his name? Hush Puppy. Who was stealing all of them millions. And then what? Had to put it on Instagram. And the FBI was like, let's go pick him up. How much did he get? Oh, big cat. Don't let nobody spin the block on you. Your blueprint gave you their agenda, but because you was operating on Ford Fiesta from the 70s time, you didn't understand. But now you do. Listen. You know what? I'm trying to stop all of the Jamaican swear words, and there's no one to check me, boo. Why would he phone me like that out of the blue? Let's carry on, darling dears. As I was saying, with your faith the size of a mustard seed, darling dears, you was able to put on the whole spiritual armor. Ephesians 6:13. You are dangerous, big cat. You are dangerous. Why? Because you have an intuitive blueprint. Why do you think your ancestors chose you to break the paradigm? The dysfunctional paradigms that your family members have been living with, still living with, darling dears, just to say that they've got a piece of a man or a piece of a woman in their life, or what they're putting up with, the abuse from their listen. The day, let me tell you something, and I've got this on record now. The day, the minute, or the hour any of my progeny think that they can talk to me in a baritone, blood, want to come shout over me, want to come tell me about myself, that'll be the last day, blood. It'll be the last day. The last day. I'm going to prison because I want to be amongst the prisoners. I want to meet R. Kelly. I've told you. I don't take it from no one, darling dears. No one. And you don't take the devil's most diligent worker back. Outrageous. What's the matter with what? The tree sloth, right? Who authorized this phone call? Did the tree sloth know he was making this phone call? Was he phoning me from inside her panani, the black hole of Calcutta? What was going on? People need to give you what? They need to set the scene before they lay shit on you. Well, this person they don't need to set no scene for me, because every one of my minds have been changed. Because you have 3 hearts, big cat. 3 hearts. You're like, what? Yes, you do, darling dears. You have the heart that you show the general public, where you're being please and thank you and being charitable and respectful. You have your second heart that you show your progeny, your family, your partner. And your third heart, hey, nobody sees that heart. Why? That heart is capable of putting you in prison with R. Kelly blood. Because we're besties. Fist bump. Let's carry on with the read. What's going on? I can't believe it. How dare he? Who's that? Tamika MC? He sound the block on... What's this? What do you mean? He spun the block on me. Was a childhood friend. We married. He wanted to take care of my twin daughter. Take care of your twin daughters how? What do you mean? Right? Listen, big cat, oi, bestie. Let me carry on. What else did he say? Right? And my twin daughters, they were 5 months old. Yes. Had a child, a son, who he ignores and has no empathy. This is why you should not go with the brother. It's not your fault, darling dears. You were still in mind. You was in mind confusion. The babies were 5 months old, darling dears. 5 months old. And if you're doing that singularly with one bambino, just imagine. I can only imagine what you was going through with two different agendas, mate. And they're using that twin thing to work on your what? Your cranium blood. You wasn't in your right mind. You wasn't. That doesn't mean you must go back to somebody who met you when you wasn't in your right mind. And remember, he was glad to meet you when your progeny were babies. Why? Because all of the abuse and wickedness that he wants to put on you, right, the babies would be used to it. Don't take nobody back that crosses you, darling dears, that cuts you on your white meat. It's not about self-respect. It's understanding that you have purpose, big cat. You didn't come here for a joke. You're a volunteer. You'd finished all of your cycles. You'd gone through the 9 cycles to get to the feet of the Most High, and you chose to come back in this age of Aquarius. Look how many things are being revealed to us. The most shocking thing I've seen over the past few days, right, with my eye chakras, because it keeps showing up in my feed, is about those 5 billionaires that went under the sea with a Logitech, right, remote, right? Listen, they focused us on that when 750 people were drowning off the Greek coast. Now I know why YouTube keeps putting my lives on hold, because I can't help it, big cat. You have bigger fish to fry, darling dears. And don't let them guilt you out. Don't let them shame you into taking them back. They should have respected the program while you was there. Yes, you was operating on Ford Fiesta from the 70s time. You didn't understand that you had a Lamborghini under the hood. But you know now, big cat. You know now. Outrageous, darling dears, outrageous. Don't phone me again. I'm not changing my number. I used to change my number like I changed my lace fronts, darling dears, and I had to stop it. Because the school couldn't find me, the prodigies couldn't find me, I couldn't find me. Stop changing my number. Right, let's carry on. You are the blueprint, darling dears. Your energy was meant to, the 6, lover's energy, darling dears, partnerships, contracts. You was meant to show people how to build true unity within themselves and the people around them. You was coming with gifts. You had offers, darling dears. I'm seeing solar plexus. I'm seeing what? higher mind, darling dear. I'm seeing your third eye chakra. I'm seeing your blue, the throat chakra, your words, darling dears. I'm also seeing your heart. Your heart. The same heart that you use a cheese grater on, chucked it into the street, let a stray cat, right, chew on it, then they backed up their truck over it. Yes, yes, your heart. Your heart. Outrageous. Let's see what the theme of this blueprint read is. One card, please. Don't you interrupt your mission. Even the cards ain't having it. 18 in the reverse, darling dear. This is moon energy. Anybody coming back from yesteryear, the pet cemetery, darling dear, will come to what? Tell you fucking ease. They're going to tell you that elephants are flying. They're going to tell you that you are what? They are simply the best, and they made the biggest mistake, and they have to come back to you so that they can fuck you over again. Right? You listen, big cat. Right? You've got the 7 of Cups on its face. You better choose wisely, darling dears. The only card that's by itself is the what? Temperance. This person has got demon time on them, darling dear. This is the Earth Angel on its face. This person comes to make your journey hard. Especially if you told them to get out, your basura. Especially if you told them to go away. And you didn't care. You didn't care. They're coming to make your journey harder, darling dears. Well, take this. Third eye chakra in the reverse, darling dears. This person didn't bank, or people didn't bank on your intuitive nature. They didn't think that these little things that you told them was important. But they weren't important at the time because you didn't understand it. Your mind, listen to me, bestie. Your mind was like a Ford Fiesta from the 70s. Yes, baby. There was no thing as central locking, mate. Shaky and not sure on the road. Not sturdy, darling dears. Third eye chakra on its face, darling dears. On its face. This is somebody who has been getting at you, because third eye chakra is about telepathy. So you've been having dreams about them, darling dears. They're constantly on your mind. Why? Because they are thinking about you. And because you are using your Lamborghini mind now, you're picking up on all of the energies that are around you, darling dears. Don't let them interrupt your blueprint. Do you want your ancestors to pick on you? Listen, you better fear the ancestors, yeah? Fear the ancestors. Because they like to turn up at 3 a.m. 6 on its face. Partnership must be over. What else? We've got the 4 of Swords on its face. You'd be on a knife's edge, darling dears. This person comes to lie to you. They are verbally abusive. They are manipulative. They are projecting, darling dears. Yes, baby. Passive aggressive, knows their address. They're not coming for anything good, darling dears, especially if you're doing better than you was with them. Home, car, career, your mind is right, your body is tight, you've got lace fronts galore, darling dears. They don't know who's going to answer the door. Now it's got me sucking my 31 teeth, and you know that I'm not friendly after I've had to suck my 31 teeth. 4 of Swords, the 4 on its face, the numerology of the 4 in the upright is manifestation, stability, security. They ain't even got a stable home, darling dears. In the upright, air energy is what? Elusive. In the reverse, they are stuck in a situation which is not of their own, darling dears. It's not theirs. They're in someone else's mud hut on demon time, darling dear. You also have what? The 8, darling dear, your growth and success. 8 of Wands, it's a new beginning for you, darling dears. You also have a message coming towards you, darling dears, and look, the judgment is showing. Someone from the past thinks they can fuck with your blueprint again, blood. You better make sure that you don't allow them in for point A and point B. Yes, it's tatty, because we have to use it often. I have to have the fan on, and it keeps blowing over the cards because it's 28 degrees in the UK today, blood. It's proper hot. I was considering going to the beach today, but I don't know. I'm still getting the PTSD from last year. The last time I went to the beach last year, when I went with Karma and Moore, right? And we was minding our own business on the beach. And then I'd gone into the sea, right? Because I like to go into the sea, right? And then when I come out of the sea, I lay on my ground cloth because I got chairs, I have it. Listen, I'm a Capricorn midhaven, darling dears. When I move, it's like I move with everything and it's all concise. I've got everything. I can practically do surgery. I can resurrect the dead with what I've got in my bags. Anyhow, I'd come out of the water and was laying down on the towel, just sunning the back off, because if you sit on the chair the whole time, you just get brown at the front and you're still pale at the back. And who gonna tell you? No one, because they like you looking striped. Anyhow, Karma Maud just come out of the sea. No, I was going to sleep and then I heard, fuck off, F you, someone cussing out. And when I looked up, it was a little boy, a little Caucasian boy with brown curly. The boy looked like a cherub, darling dears. He was cussing out his mother and the next lady looked like his grandmother, telling him about them underneath, cost them. I couldn't believe it. I was thinking to myself, boy, that boy'd have no teeth, man. He'd have no teeth. He'd be floating in the water. Right? Talk to me like that. Listen, I told you already. I'm prepared to go to prison with R. Kelly. I want to be with R. Kelly. Me and my progeny's talking to me like that. What progeny? I don't have any. Anyhow. So after I saw the little boy cussing them out and they were saying, oh, don't say it, stop it. Don't say it, stop it. Oh, listen, let me tell you another story. Go and link it in. Right? My son O'Shea used to be naughty at school when he was at primary school, and he did something, I can't remember what he did, but they phoned me and they told me, they like to tell you before you come to pick them up. And I told O'Shea several times not to do this again, right? And they phoned me, so when I got there, and you know you're all milling outside, waiting for the kids to come out, and they come out, the progeny come out, and he came out to me, hello mom. I leaned in and I head-butted the shit out of him. The boy's eyes crossed and he stumbled 2 steps back. Nobody saw it, darling dears. And he didn't do it fucking again, blood. He never blood clot do it again. Listen, I told you, I don't take no shit from progeny. Are you mad? I led with a headbutt. But going back to the other story. So after I heard all this effing and blinding, I thought, okay then, I'm going to sit on my chair because they was just here. I'm here, minding my own business, right? Oh my God, this wind is outrageous. Let me turn it off, yeah? Right? So I'm sitting on my chair. Then all of a sudden, the woman, the mother that he just cussed off, she decided that she was going to use her bread chucking hands to chuck the bread behind my chair where I'm sitting at, and the seagulls, right, started to dive bomb my chair. Listen, have you ever seen a seagull look up close? Their eyes look evil, and then they're not scared. Listen. What did I do? What do you mean, what did I do? I used my lexicon. I used my Kosota-Kwati. I told her about her bread chucking hands. I told this woman I didn't drive nearly 60 miles, right, to be assaulted by seagull, right? Listen, I've only ever seen seagull from a distance, not that close. They was dive bombing the bread. Dive bombing it. I thoroughly cussed them out. And her swearing cherub son sat there because he knew that he was next on the list, blood. Because I was about to go on. Listen, I know you're not supposed to talk about people's children, but I would have went in, mate. She stopped chucking that bread. And about half an hour after that, they packed up and they pushed off, maybe to another part of the beach. I don't know. But them seagulls kept coming back, blood. And it gave them PTSD. But anyway, we're not going to talk about that now. We're going to move on. Yeah. Judgment. They're going through judgment. Somebody wants a second chance of you, darling. This person is a liar. This person, right, did not believe in your intuitive nature when you used to have dreams, when you used to tell them that something was going to go a certain way. Yeah, when you said that you listened to something and you did this and that happened, whatever it was, darling, they never believed in your what? Anointed power. What you was gifted with, because you came here with gifts, darling dears. Gifts. Listen, every time I think about that woman with her bread chucking hands, blood. It's only true say I've driven so far, and I didn't want to go to prison because I'd have had to go to prison in a swimsuit, darling dear, and a beach cover-up. I didn't want to go to prison. Didn't. Why did she chuck the bread behind my chair? To this day, I still ponder it, darling dears. But I'm sure she doesn't do that anymore. Not with her son effing and blinding, and she knows that the people on the beach will go for her. Let's carry on, darling dears. Your success, darling dears, but it also speaks about a message coming because of your success and growth. This is why they want to come into your life. They want to come and interrupt your blueprint of higher purpose. They want to interrupt your life lesson, darling dears. All when what? The nodes, the North Node and the South Node are going into Aries and Libra on the 17th of July. Go and watch my read. I've highlighted for each individual rising sign how it's going to affect you. Now I'm sweating, darling dears. This is outrageous. Base of your deck, darling dear. What did I say? Someone who you don't give two good golly and goshes about, darling dears. Emotional manipulator, 4 of Pentacles. They're sitting underneath a tree. The tree's not going to fall on them, darling dears. Wicked people live long. Wicked people live long! But not longer than a big cat. Somebody's feeling extremely disappointed, disillusioned, and feeling like a whole dumbass. Right. Look. Temperance on its face, darling dears. Again, darling dears. This is someone who is on demon time. This is somebody that will make your life harder. Why? Because they're upset because you turned your shapely back. You decided to choose you. You turned over that cup of opium and crushed it under your flip-flop of common sense. Base of the deck. 10 of Pentacles, you was always the gift. You came through with loyalty, darling dears. When they met you, they was meant to end whatever cycles they had going on in their life. But this person came to you with lies, darling dears. They never banked on your intuitive nature. They didn't bank that your ancestors will come on a mission impossible and save you from circumstances that you was meant to learn the lesson and keep it popping and keeping it fresh. Who's that? CO2 from the, was it Bermuda? Big cat, wave. I wish I was with you, darling dears. High Priestess, what did I tell you about your intuitive nature, your blueprint, right? Makes your intuition be what? Buffed up, darling dear. Better than the average person. Why? Because you're a big cat, darling dear. This also speaks about any answer. If you've got an issue at this moment in time, somebody's got a question on their mind and they're seeking answers. The answer's already within, darling dear. You already know the answer to the question that you're seeking. You already have the answer. They come to lie and interrupt anything you've got going on, darling dear. Oh my God, it's so hot in here. It's punch in the face kind of a heat, darling dear. Punch in the face. Trying to lie to you. So what's going on with them that they feel that they can approach you? They're between a rock and a hard place, darling dears. Two of Swords also could represent two people. Maybe they're up to their tricks, right? With someone else. What did I say? They're on demon time. They're trying to choose between you and the devil. There's no choice. Go with the devil, darling dears. Because God is on your side. God has entered the building, right? You was meant to leave them where they are. Let them be disappointed forever. Forever. Tell me something about the High Priestess. We want to talk about your blueprint. Tell me something about the High Priestess. Your highly intuitive nature. It's going to bring you a lot of success and rewards, darling dears, but you need to continue to listen to your higher mind. Listen. Your intuition, right, is piqued by your ancestral team, darling dear. When your intuition is telling you something, it's a quiet, calm voice. When you are doing the ruminating thoughts, darling dears, it's ugly words telling you ugly things about yourself, this, that, and the other. And sometimes you have to remember, because your blueprint is highly intuitive, you're able to uncover many agenda, darling dears. You pick up on other people's energies, other people's emotions. This is why when you suddenly feel down out of nowhere, you have to sit down, go within, do your breath work. Remember what I told you, darling dears. 5 breaths in, with your tongue in the dent at the roof of your mouth. Hold it for 5 and then breathe out. Do that 5 times. And then think about the situation again, darling dears. You will realize this is negative energies from outside of yourself. You were sent here to win, darling dear, to continue to progress. You're meant to be healthy, darling dears, building foundations. Pentacles could be an online business, could be businesses, could be a stable home, car, career, whatever it is, darling dear. Victory is your go-to move. You were sent to what? Be the breaker of generational curses. But you have to remember, when you're breaking generational curses, darling dears, don't expect any help from anyone around you. Why? You're coming out of a paradigm that they're still stuck in. And it also speaks about somebody or somebody's is caught up thinking about you. When we see 2 8s on the tableau, darling dears, it tells you what? They're in regret. It's not remorse. Your highly intuitive blueprint, darling dear, will lead you to anything that you need or want on this Malkuth. But you have to get quiet and listen to your higher self. You have to get quiet, big cat. When they try to come through, darling dears, Divine is telling you, listen, mate, this is a full-on Easter Island and Stevie Wonder with love and light. 2 of these and 1 of those. Don't allow this trick, this toxic trick or tricks to come back. It's because it's not going great for them, darling dear, as they live in the crevice of the devil's balls. The devil always comes for his due, darling dears. Hi, who's that? Bluebird flying. You're doing the rewind. Glad you could pop in. Big cat wave surprise. Yeah. What fell on the devil, darling dear? They're toxic. They're not happy with their work situation. They're arguing and fighting with everybody around them, darling dear. Everybody. And here you are, peaceful, minding your own business, in the arms of the Most High, Psalms 91:1, after you overcame the disappointments. But they was meant to disappoint you because you had to awaken to the fact that you was operating on what? A 1970s Ford Fiesta time when you've got a Lamborghini under your hood. Your cranium is a Lamborghini. Your intuition is Lamborghini. Better yet, we'll go past that and say Bugatti. You're peaceful, right? No! And this is what they'll bring to you, darling. There's more betrayal, more heartbreak, more arguments, fighting, darling dear, subterfuge, gaslighting, bullying. Leave them with their regret, blood. Let them regret you for air. Divine gifted you with the 2 of Cups, darling dears. Regret is not remorse. They are Judases in a Peter suit. No! 5 5s, darling dears. You've already let go of this situation. This is someone that they didn't realize that you'd wash your face like David. It could have been a throuple that they had you in, darling dear. Look, behind it, 3 of Cups, confirmation. Continue with the skeet, darling dear. Skeet. Keep it pumping, keep it fresh. You are a champion and a warrior. You already overcame that shiznai once before. Let's talk some more about your blueprint. We're going to get your ancestral messages because I don't think somebody's not listening to me. Look, Hangman on the deck. 2 times, darling dears. Somebody needs to what? Let go of something that was done to them, darling dear. This is about you getting a better perspective. Look at the lesson. What did you learn from that situation? What I learned is that I don't like to be fucked over. I don't like STDs, darling dears. I don't like paying all of the bills. I don't like my chariot of righteousness being driven to another bitch's house so they can have what? Hedonistic sex, darling dear. No, blood. I learned many things. I also learned, right, that I like me. Better yet, I love me. When I wake up in the morning, I'm saying, which body part am I loving on today? Today, it's my big finger on my right hand, right? I love this finger, because if it wasn't for this finger, I'd have my curls in my eye, right? And I wouldn't be able to tell people to, you, pointing them out and say, you go and fuck off, right? Fuck off back to whatever hellation you've come from. But you have to understand, darling dears, you was given this blueprint for a reason. As I said, none of us know the day, the minute, or the hour. Pay attention to what your intuition is trying to tell you. And in order to hear your intuition, you have to get quiet. You have to be alone, darling dears. Many of you are keep telling me in the emails that you find it hard to meditate. Meditation is effing hard if you sit down and focus on meditating. Meditating could also just be laying relaxed as you wake up in the morning after you said good morning to God and just thinking about your day, how it's going to unfold. As you continue to do it on a daily basis, you get deeper and you'll get better at it. But you have to start, darling dears. Someone definitely needs to meditate. What does your ancestors want to say about this blueprint? Base of your deck, darling dear. King of Swords. It comes with a lot of information. You've been gifted with their information in your DNA, darling dears. You can tap into any of their skills and talents, but you have to focus. If there's a new skill or talent that you want to learn, one of your ancestors has done it before. Obviously not to the speed that we are in this world that we have right now, but remember, we know that the history that we've been taught is a lie, darling dears. You can access any information from what your ancestors have done, what you've done in previous lives, darling dears. Everything is here, but you have to take the time to get quiet. What else do you need to know about your blueprint? That you're strong blood. Look at you opening this lion's mouth. It's also a reminder not to waste your energy around the drama field, darling dears. This is about you understanding your worth, understanding that you, darling dear, you are able to tame any beast, darling dear. But it's not about you taming any beast. It's about you taming the beast within, darling dear. The beast that allowed you to put you in situations that you had to sacrifice yourself. What else do you need to know about your blueprint? Ha, bitch, you missed me. Ten of Swords. You overcame something that many could not overcome, darling dears. And this is an eclipse, darling dears, in the background. Eclipses always mean change. No! Because you was dealing with the devil's most diligent workers. I can't make it up. Capricorn, Saturn energy, darling dears. And remember, Saturn is karma, darling dears. Saturn is the father of time. So if you take or consider resurrecting the dead, even though your birth certificate, right, your corporate name, right, does not say what Captain Saber Harlot, it does not say the homosexual whisperer. It didn't say none of them. It didn't say none of them things, darling dears. Remember, this person has been sent to scupper you at every turn. This person or people. This is why you don't go backwards, ever forwards. Like I said, haha, miss me, bitch. Hey! Yeah. Queen of Pentacles, because you're commanding. You know your worth, darling dears. You may have been married to this person, a long-term situation. But there was a Jezebel spirit, Queen of Wands, that you had to turn your back on. Because all they did was betray and betray and betray and betray and betray. Listen, if betray was their middle name, darling dear, they would have lied about that too. Look, Hangman in the reverse. In some cases, they even had people lying on their behalf so they could infiltrate your camp, darling dears. You know the family members that lie and pretend that everybody's into you when they're not into you. They're into your bag and what you bring to the table. Why? Because you was operating with a Ford Fiesta from the 70s mind when you had Lamborghini. No, we've left the Lamborghini. Bugatti on your cranium, darling dear. You didn't know. But you can't punch yourself in the eye, and you can't punch yourself in the panani or the futumaiva for what you did in the past. Because listen, imagine going to the A&E because your panani or futum has swollen up big, and you've got to tell them. They'll say, well, how did you get into this situation? Talk about the A&E. When this is a long time ago, I was in my 20s. I just moved out of my mother's house, and I was working for a hospital. I was working at King's College Hospital on the eyes and skin clinic, darling dear. I was a receptionist, so you know, like if you book an appointment. Listen, I know we're going down memory lane, but then again, who gonna check me? Boo, it's coming up, so I've got to talk about it, right? I was working in the A&E, and I'm telling you, nothing spreads more like gossip and what? Bad things in a hospital. I just got into my shift, and one of the ambulance men from A&E came round to our desk because he was going out with the girl that I work with, right? And told us there was a man in A&E because he had a light bulb, right, crushed in his, what's a good word? His bottom? I think everybody in the hospital, the whole hospital staff went through A&E. We all went through. I went to see who was this person that had to come in on their belly in the back of an ambulance with a light bulb stuck in their bottom that was crushed. And who was going to pull that shit out? We all went and looked. But that was a sidetrack, a side note, because you know I've got stories, mate. I told you I'm over half of 100. I've lived life. And I've realized that I don't need wicked people, right? With cruel intentions in my life. Split the deck. Leave them to their judgment, darling dears. Part of your blueprint, darling dears, is for people to experience you. Judgment card is represented by fire, water, and Pluto energy. They're meant to experience you, darling dears, because you came into their life to bring what a new stage in their life, to bring life-changing transformation into their life, darling dears. But they didn't pass the final exam of being kind, of being supportive, of being grateful. They didn't. So they must miss you forever. You are their karma. This is karma, darling dears. We've also got the 7 of Wands, darling dears, in the upright. Your block game must continue to be for the gods. For the gods. King of Swords next to the 10 of Swords is a reminder to stop telling people your fucking business. I know I'm swearing, Big Kev, but I'm not meaning to pick on you, but I'm your best friend. I should be able to speak to you in plain English. Stop telling people what you went through. 80% don't care. 19% are glad it's happening to you and they can't wait to get on the balls of their feet. Merchants of slander. And that 1% that will really care, your true soul tribe, you will find them once you realize whom you are. You was a what? You was a big cat who didn't know who you was, operating with a 1970s Ford Fiesta mind when you really have a Bugatti for a cranium. So your ancestor said, no, blood, don't invite the wicked back in. Continue to stand your ground and you will get an 11-11 fade. Your true soul tribe will find you, darling dears. Many of you have been on a lonely path, but you had to be by yourself so you could understand your blueprint. They had to be away from your energies to realize that you was the foundation, darling dear. You're the 11-11. Your energies upgraded their life, and if they was lucky to experience you in an intimate kind of way, darling dears, you was giving their soul a healing. This is why they hated you. They couldn't understand how comes they were calm, how comes they were prosperous around you, and it ain't, and not now go so. Now that you've cut them off. Your ancestors said, no, leave these skin-peeling liars that betrayed you where they are. They're amongst many, and a fool will be always surrounded by fools. Doing what? Foolishness. Why? Because their name's Foolio. You left that situation, darling dears. Swords, possibly on what? An argument, a fight. It may have been at night time, darling dears, that this last argument or fight went down. But you left that situation. And when you left, you didn't look back. You know why you didn't look back? Because you was crying, darling dears. You nearly cried then. You was crying. Because you had to break your heart. The heart that didn't understand that you was operating on a 1970s Ford Fiesta mind when you was really a Bugatti, darling dears. You had to break your own heart to get away. You had to. You didn't turn around because you was crying. And then, what did you do? The swords, You went on the internet and you met me. And I was like, rub them bitches in if you're crying. Rub them bitches in. Good skin tightener. Go to the mirror and slap the shiznai out of yourself until common sense prevails. And then come back and we'll finish the read. Yeah, you cried, darling dears. And what went down, I would put my everything on it. It went down at night time when the devil is at his most strongest work. Let's see what else your ancestors want to say about this melee. I'm using the vice versa tarot, darling dears. The vice versa's got images on both sides for the upright and the reverse. I split the deck. You was in a prison when you was there, darling dears. They trapped your energy. They trapped your energy. They trapped your energy by trying to make you feel lack mentality. They lowered your self-esteem. They didn't tell you kind words. Once they knew that they had you hooked, line and sinker, darling dear, you didn't hear kind words. That's why they had to hit the road, just like Jack. What else does your ancestors want you to know? And this is how you'll be living your life, darling dears, waiting for the next thing to happen. Because all it will be doing, right, is fighting and arguments, STDs, darling dears, subterfuge, full bull swanky. They're going to want you to do all of the work, darling dears. They want you to break your back as they work on your self-esteem, yellow, darling dears. And now my nose is running. I don't understand the weather and where my nose is running. Because I took my antihistamine because I don't run, mate. I ain't going out there. And Siri told me that it's 28 effing degrees, darling dears. I didn't want the hay fever to punch me in my eyes. I didn't feel like being strangulated, right, in my sundress. When they come back, darling dears, this is what they must find. This is the Queen of Wands with her back turned. Yes, you look good, darling dear, but they can't listen. They can't spin the block on you. They can't trick you anymore. Sorry, it wasn't the Queen, it's the King, darling dear. Excuse me, I thought this was I nearly said the word, but I'm not going to say it. Because you're facing your 9th cup, darling dear, emotional fulfillment. Do you know how many people on this Malkuth can't fill up these 9 cups by themselves? They will put up with all sorts of treatment, right? Disingenuous friends, people that they daren't get up from the table from because they're going to be the next one on their list. King of Wands, you are future thinking, darling dears, a natural born leader, right? Some of you have got a promotion, something that is about to fulfill you emotionally. You're about to fill up your cup in a work situation. Wands is about work. But then again, this is a reminder for you to listen to your intuition. Take the time at the beginning or the ending of the day to get your mind right, to tap in with your higher mind. Why? Because your higher mind is what controls your blinking and breathing, blood, your subconscious mind. And you need to keep that going. You do. They'll never meet someone as loyal as you, darling dear. And for others, your ancestors want you to know that you're about to choose between two. Choose wisely, big cat. Choose wisely. Because none of us know the day, the hour, or the minute. Choose wisely. Split the deck. Yeah, because they're coming. They are coming to come and offer up bull swanky, but you're seeing the horse's ass. They're telling you shit. This is a cup of hopium cognitive dissonance, darling dear. You better make sure that it doesn't even touch your lips. Crush that cup under your flip-flop before it even gets to your mouth, darling dear. What did you have to go through to get to this point? Your mind is right, darling dears. Your money is going to be right. If your money tree is not up there right now, it will be. There's something in you that is preventing it from being where it wants to be. Maybe you're still fostering that lack mentality. Stop. Oh, shit. Stop that lack mentality. Listen, friend, bestie, I ain't got time, mate. Right? Dry your eyes, yeah? Stop crying, because I meant to hit you like that. Stop crying. Sun card on its face. You'll get over it, right? It's because you was dealing with people that was on demon time, the Hierophant with his back turned. Split the deck. Moon card, something is about to be illuminated to you, darling dears. What did I just tell you? If your money isn't right up to this point, from this day going forward, darling dears, you're about to get that hand of God, darling dear. Opportunities, a new job, home, car, career. Your health is returning. You don't need the rosemary oil for your hairline. It's going to grow back on its own blood. New beginning for you. And again, the 1111 fade, because you walk with it. Because you came back as a volunteer in this age of Aquarius to raise the vibration as this planet is going from 3D to 5D, darling dears. So no, look. They want to work, of course they want to work with you. Everybody wants to be on your gang, darling dear. But when you wanted that help and support, this is what you got. Empty promises, darling dears. Immature energy, watching you do all of the work to keep a stable foundation, keeping the peace. But your mental, you was barking at passing cars, blood. We've got the Queen of Cups with her back. No, this is the Queen of Cups with her back turned. No more loyalty. They must find you disloyal. I hate their children. So this answers your question, darling dears. The lady that I was just speaking to before that had the twin girls, they never liked her children. They liked the fact that, number one, that they could control you because of the babies. Yep. And they don't like women. So they're misogynist, darling dears. Well, guess what? They've turned you into a misandrist as far as they are concerned. You just don't like that man. You like other men, but not that man. You don't like that man, right? It's a threesome gone bad. Maybe it was their throuple that they invited you into, that you didn't sign up for the throuple. You turned up and this is what was going on. Party for three, darling dears, right? They're a Jezebel, right? And F shit is their game. What did I say? They're going to chip away from the crevice of the devil's balls, darling dears, to have one final plea of mitigation. You already dodged a bullet, big cat. Why would you take that level of karma back into your life? Friend, lover, family member, someone who didn't care about your mental state. How many of those people have picked up the phone to check on to see if you're alive or dead? And many of us have got progeny, none of them dead. And many of them tried to put what? Juju on you to finish you off. But they couldn't do it, darling dear. Everything is being sent back to the devil's most diligent worker. One last split. From the nosebleed section, eh? Let them continue to watch your worth from the nosebleed section. They come to lie to you, darling dears. The judgment card, you have to leave them to go through whatever karma they created. Third eye, right? They're gonna make you question your own intuition, darling dears. This is not the lineup of somebody that comes to tell you the truth or to support you. They come to take and take. Remember, you're on a new level, right? Some of you lost a pregnancy with this person. Yeah, abundance on its face. Go on then. If you're gonna get back with him, remember, you're gonna lose everything, right? Be prepared for Cardboard City. I don't know if they've got Wi-Fi in Cardboard City, right? Where you are right now, there's no gossiping. You've got peace, darling dear. That big P, like I said, that can't be bandied around. And they come with a closed heart chakra. So they'll be shape-shifting and mean. Your ancestors already said you've ended this situation. This is Feu and Othello. They're runestones that represent the world card. You've ended this cycle. It's represented by Earth and Saturn energy, as well as the fixed signs of Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, and Aquarius. You were sent to be a guide, darling dears, because you have an intuitive blueprint. You came with ancient knowledge, darling dears, that you didn't know how to handle at that time, but now you do. Divine wants you to continue to still learn things. Don't allow no one to put a limit on what you can learn. Continue to discipline yourself. Somebody's going to be traveling the world. Good for you, darling dears. Make sure you leave with travel insurance, yeah? Otherwise you'll be sorry, blood. And if you've got progeny, make sure that you include or remember them when you make a decision going forward, because they've got to live in that house with you. Remember I told you that. And this is your progeny in the upright. At this moment in time, they're making you proud of their behaviors and what they're doing with their lives. Why? Because they're watching you. They're watching you live according to your blueprint, your intuitive blueprint, your progeny. Root chakra manifestation mode, darling dears. No longer in fight, flight, or survival mode. You can manifest anything you want, but you have to resist that temptation. Remember what it felt like being around them, darling dears. The person that you was fighting, you weren't fighting them, you was fighting their demon. Remember I told you that, and you could never win, because everything was always your fault. You'd be blamed for it, mate. On that note, I'm out of here. I drops me mic. Todd love to my Teesprings, Todd love to my Patreon, or simply come back here. 182 in the chat, big cat wave. And as I always say, don't get smoked. Lots of messages out today, darling dears. Remember, Luke 22:48, they're back front neck tabbers. They get no S. And never you forget, law number 29, always have a plan, big cat. Always have a plan. But always plan to love the Most High, yourself. Your progeny comes next, and after that it's the body in the bag. From the ashes, baby, namaste. Don't get smoked or smoke yourself. Big cat wave until we meet again on these tarot streets. Cat, cat.